Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
Oh, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. Get more with Geico.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We search through all sorts of interesting sources to pull out insights you might not find otherwise. And today we're doing something, well, really delightful, actually. A story that seems like pure fun on the surface, but it's got some surprisingly deep lessons tucked inside. We're exploring a narrative called The Talking Picnic Basket. Oh, now I know what you're thinking. A talking picnic basket. Sounds like a kid's cartoon, right? And yet it's definitely charming. But our goal here today, our mission, is to unpack how advice you know, especially the kind you really don't expect, maybe even push back against at first, can turn ordinary moments into something, well, genuinely magical and instructive. Just picture it. You're packing your lunch, heading out for a nice afternoon, and suddenly your basket has very strong opinions on everything. Your food, your manners.
It's such a clever premise, isn't it? It really gives us this fantastic lens to look at how we react to advice we didn't ask for. And it pushes us to look past the delivery, which, let's be honest, can sometimes sound like nagging or just plain bossiness, and find the actual value hidden there. So yeah, we'll dig into not just what happens in this fun little story, but why these interactions actually teach us quite a lot about ourselves, really.
Exactly. So let's set the scene. It starts off perfectly idyllic. You've got three friends, Jasper the fox, Lila who's human, and Penny the penguin. Classic unlikely friends combo. And they're off for a picnic in Maplewood Park. Got the sandwiches, the fruit, the usual. And of course, this big old wicker basket. Everything seems totally normal. That feeling of normalcy, it feels really deliberate. You know, setting up this perfectly average day.
Oh, absolutely. It plays right into our expectations, doesn't it? We see the everyday, the routine, and then the story uses that to highlight how easily we miss the potential for something extraordinary right under our noses.
Right.
That contrast makes the magic, when it happens, feel so much more surprising, more impactful. It kind of breaks through that comfortable, normal state. Almost makes you question your own assumptions about where wisdom might come from.
And then, bam, that normal scene just shatters. Jasper, probably just thinking about lunch, plops the basket down. But before anyone even unwraps a sandwich, the basket clears its throat. Oh. And then it speaks. Its very first words are pretty direct. May I suggest you start with the watermelon? It's the juiciest. And it doesn't stop there. Right after that, it adds, and honestly, you packed way too many cookies. You can just imagine them, right? They freeze. Penny probably squawks. And then what else can you do? They just start giggling, that kind of disbelieving reaction.
Yeah, the basket really jumps in head first, doesn't it? No easing into it. And that directness, almost critical tone, is kind of what grabs you. The advice itself, eat the fruit first, maybe ease up on the sugar. It's actually solid advice, right? Rooted in well-being. But the way it's delivered, that's what often makes us put our guard up. It makes you wonder, how often do we ignore good advice just because we don't like the tone or the source? It shines a light on our own filters for receiving feedback.
Oh, definitely. And it quickly gets his reputation for having, well, opinions on everything. It tells off Jasper for sitting on the napkins, which, okay, fair point. Scolds Bunny for dripping juice. Again, kind of makes sense. And then the big one, telling Lila she needs to eat her broccoli before she gets dessert. That really cements its image as being, a bit bossy, a bit of a busybody.
Exactly. And you can feel that irritation growing among the friends. They're just trying to have a nice, relaxed time. And here's this voice, constantly correcting, directing. It's relatable, isn't it? We've all had that feeling of someone giving unsolicited advice, even if it's well-intentioned. It can just feel intrusive. The default human thing is often to resist being told what to do, especially when you're just trying to chill out.
Right. And that frustration is bubbling up. And then something totally out of the blue happens. A big gust of wind, like a really strong one. Classic picnic problem, right? Suddenly, half their food, sandwiches, fruit, everything goes tumbling right into the nearby pond. Disaster. And this is the real turning point. Because In that moment of panic, when the food's floating away, the basket doesn't just offer an opinion. It shouts, "Quick, use the lid as a net." And the friends, maybe just out of pure instinct or desperation, they actually do it. They grab the lid, scoop up the food, and it works. They save most of it.
It's a fantastic moment because it shows how, our resistance to advice can just evaporate when there's a real crisis. Suddenly, the how doesn't matter as much as the what. Does it work? Is it helpful right now? The stakes were high losing their lunch. And suddenly that bossy voice offered a practical, immediate solution. It forces them, and us, I think, to see the basket differently. Not just annoying, but maybe useful, insightful even. It's a great lesson in valuing the solution, sometimes over the messenger, especially when things get tough.
And the learning doesn't stop there. After the food rescue, another typical picnic thing happens. Ants show up. Now, what's the usual reaction? Shoot them away, right? Protect the food. See them as pests.
That's the instinct, yeah. Us versus them, keep them away from our stuff.
But the basket, again, has this totally different idea. Instead of just getting rid of them, it suggests, why not share your crumbs instead of shooing them away?
Yeah.
It sounds so simple, but it's completely against how most of us would probably react.
It is counterintuitive, isn't it? And that's where the deeper layer comes in, I think. The basket isn't just about fixing problems anymore. It's nudging them towards a whole different mindset, a philosophy almost. It's saying, hey, maybe reframe this. Turn what you see as a nuisance into, I don't know, an opportunity for connection or just observation. It challenges that default us versus them thinking, even with tiny ants. It suggests that maybe generosity, even with just a few crumbs, can actually make the whole experience richer. And the story says the ants became like this funny little parade that entertained them for hours. So instead of annoyance, they found amusement. It shows how extending just a little bit of empathy or sharing a tiny bit of what you have can change things, turn irritations into something, well, kind of joyful.
It really is amazing how their whole day got reshaped by listening. So by the end of the picnic, as the sun's going down, their view of this basket has completely changed. They realize it wasn't really trying to be bossy just for the sake of it. It actually wanted them to have the best picnic possible, properly enjoy it, but also, look after nature and look after each other. And Jasper the fox, who started it all by plopping the basket down, he sums it up perfectly. He just grins and says, "Best picnic ever."
That really nails it, doesn't it? It shows the core wisdom here. It wasn't really about the magic basket itself. It was about them, the friends, shifting their perspective. That advice, which felt annoying at first, ended up helping them be healthier, kinder, more aware. It really drives home that idea. If you have the right attitude, if you're open, even ordinary moments can, talk back with a kind of magic. The basket didn't just dictate. It sort of guided them into being more active participants in making their own day better, turning the mundane into something special, just through outlook.
So that wraps up our deep dive for today. What a surprisingly insightful trip with the talking picnic basket. We've pulled out some really key things: the importance of maybe healthier choices and balance, the real joy you can get from sharing, and honestly, the power of just listening to advice, even when it comes from a weird place or sounds a bit blunt. It's a lovely reminder, isn't it, that wisdom can pop up anywhere, maybe even your picnic gear, and that being open to guidance, even if it feels a bit stern initially, can lead to genuinely wonderful outcomes, unexpectedly good times.
Absolutely. And what's really fascinating is how it gently pushes us, the readers or listeners, to think about our own biases. Where do we expect valuable input to come from? How do we react when someone suggests something different, something that maybe challenges how we usually do things? It encourages that little bit of self-reflection, which leads to a good question for you listening right now. What could be the talking picnic baskets in your own life? Those sources of feedback, advice, maybe just observations that you tend to dismiss, maybe because they sound bossy or they're unsolicited or just seem irrelevant. What potential solutions or moments of connection or even just little bits of magic might you be missing out on by not turning in just a little bit more, with a slightly more open mind?
That's a brilliant thought to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope it encourages you to maybe look for a little bit of that magic in your own day-to-day and perhaps listen a bit more closely to those unexpected voices. Until next time.